Last night, dozens of people affected by the multi-billion-dollar sober living fraud scandal came out to Steele Indian School Park to share their stories. The scam targeted Native Americans with promises of drug and alcohol rehab that they never got. Instead, the people who ran them made money. 12 News journalist William Pitts has been covering the scandal for the past year. He was there for the emotional night.
We want families to come up.
Everyone had a unique story.
Instead of getting help, I turned out to be worse than what I was when I came out here.
But the stories are all the same.
Temptation is all around us, and drugs and alcohol were easier here to get than home.
It was a thing that people on the reservation were talking about. It was like a thing going around saying that you could go to treatment, you could get a job, and you could still party without paying rent or paying anything.
I'm the one who helped him get into one of these facilities, and it's something I regret every day, and I never thought he would die in the facility.
Native Americans picked up on the reservation, brought to so-called sober living homes and rehab facilities in the valley. People from as far away as Alaska, New Mexico, South Dakota, and it's been happening for years.
And it hurts because we think we're alone.
It's sad that, it had to get this bad in order for our voices to be heard.
State officials have said the scam has cost the state $2.8 billion so far, and the state's Medicaid agency has taken action against these businesses. More than 300 businesses placed on the access suspension list, cut off from billing. They're accused of overbilling, billing for more hours than there are in a day, billing for dead people, people in jail. Some have shut down entirely, and when they do, Reva Stewart says her people are out on the street. She says some are still recruiting. She says she was getting calls for help right before the town hall started.
We're boots on the ground. We see it all the time. We want accountability. That's what pisses me off the most.
Reva organized Tuesday's town hall and invited Access, DHS, and the Attorney General's office to hear this. No one came. These people were promised help, but in the end, the providers helped themselves.
They come down here for help thinking that they're going to actually finally get help, and when they get here, put into one of these homes, and they're not getting the help.
We became dollar signs, basically. We just became a big dollar sign.
And William joins me now for the backstory. William, you were there that night last night. What struck you most about this meeting?
What struck me most was that every single person who got up there had a story that was almost exactly the same, but unique to that person. It was a situation where every single person knew someone that at some point had been in the rehab scandal and had died from it. Every single person lost somebody at some point in that. And it was mind-blowing that every single person who got up there, and it went on for 2 hours, had the same story. Yeah,
and in fact, you were saying that there was one mom not only there to share her story, but she had such a desperate plea.
She did, and it was more about sharing her story, which she did want to do. She wanted everybody to know what her experience was with the sober living scandal. And more than that, she wanted to know where her nephew was. And she got up right after, talking about how this had impacted her tribe, the community, and her family, and then asked if anybody knew her nephew, and mentioned him by name, and said, has anybody seen him? We think he was in Apache Junction the last time. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's living. We don't know if he's dead. She just wanted anybody to, number one, hear her story, but number two, try and find a missing family member. And there's so many just like her.
I bet, just searching for any answer. It's interesting, the organizer, of course, visibly upset. She said that she wanted accountability. She wanted to hear and, be present from Access, DHS, the AG's office, yet nobody came. So now what happens?
Yeah, they did want some sort of accountability, because not only do they want to know, or they want to have somebody acknowledge that this happened to them.
Right.
They also want somebody to be held accountable for it, and they want it to change also. Now, there was a bill going through the state legislature. It passed unanimously in the Senate last Thursday. We brought you that story. And it was supposed to go to the House. 6 hours after we learned about it passing the Senate and going into the House killed it. And it was supposed to reform the sober living community.
Right.
Now it's dead, and we don't really know where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Everybody says they want to help fix this. They want to help. Nobody agrees on how to do it, and there doesn't seem to be any consensus on when or how it'll happen.
Sure. Maybe there needs to be another meeting and more pressure on those held accountable. All right, William, thank you so much.